to the Geek Coast channel. I'm your host, the Wizardry Demigod David, and I hope you're all doing fantastic wherever you are in the universe. So, before I start the show, I would like to say thank you guys from the bottom of my two hearts on the views I've been seeing on the past video, which is the worst starship design. And, it was one that just, I happened to make it up on the spot. Like, it was like a single day, like, hey, I could do this, it's a great idea, let's pump it out and see where it goes. And the past couple days, seeing the views on it really makes me feel happy. And I'm like, cool, maybe they're liking me. Or they just want to make fun of me and show off to their friends how dumb I am. Whatever. Still, it's pretty cool. I'm liking it and stuff. But it also will help too, guys, if you can, hit that like button for me. It does make me feel a little bit more special that, you're liking it. And also, YouTube has these algorithms where, if you like this, hey, maybe you might see more of my videos, or just go to my channel, you can do that too. Either or, it does help out and stuff. And also, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button for me, and also hit that bell to get all notifications. And you won't miss a single video that I put up. So anyways, after all that, and again, thank you guys, you're all cool, you're all the coolest cats in the universe, let's start this video. And this topic. So this topic we're going to do is basically the greatest starfighter pilots, the aces of aces, the best dogfighters in a dogfight in space. But yeah, basically these are the most craziest, creative, bravest, and deadliest pilots in sci-fi history or franchises or whatever you want to say and stuff. So the rules are going to be basically one per franchise, pretty much. So no multiple Star Wars or any other sci-fi shows, stuff like that. It's just going to be one. And also, this is my list and my opinion on who they are. So anything else, yeah, it's my opinion and stuff. But if you like to put your own opinions out there, do it in the comment section. And let me see your guys' lists and stuff. But anyways, let's start this list. So at number 5, we have from the show Space Above and Beyond, which was from I think mid to early 90s, I think it came out. It's a very unheard of show. I think it only had maybe one, maybe two seasons, not 100% sure. But it was a cool show to watch. Kind of ish ahead of its time, but still pretty cool. But the character in this show, which his name is T.C. McQueen, and you don't really see him in being a fighter pilot that much. But the reason he's on here is because he has a history of being basically one of the best fighter pilots, and there's a reason he's a commander of squadrons and stuff like that. So the premise of that show is basically Earth is in its early years of space exploration or dominance, whatever it is, and they are encountered by this hostile alien force, which I am not going to try to pronounce it. I tried before in past recordings, and I'm not going to do it. But he's basically became one of his legend is he's one of the last survivor of his own squadron that got decimated and stuff. But he knows how they fight and some of their tactics, so that's why he's basically a squadron commander or commander of different squadrons or something like that. But in the show, he does command the basically the main crew or cast of the show, which is a fighter squadron called the Wild Cards, and each pilot call sign is a particular card of in a deck, so kind of like a Jack of Spades or a Queen of Diamonds and stuff like that. And one of the characters is kind of treats him as a father figure and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. Anyways, progressing to the why I'm putting him on this list is that there is a particular episode where the hostile alien race has their own ace that's basically using an advanced stealth fighter and has basically destroyed multiple squadrons already. And what's cool about it and about his ship is that on his hull of his ship, it says in English, abandon all hope. So he's pretty much showing that, hey, when you see me, all hope is lost and stuff like that. So the main cast, their squadron tried to take him on. I think they lost one or two guys or something like that. And then the one character that sees McQueen as a father figure, she ends up getting killed by this ace alien. So, of course, he gets mad and decides, I'm going to take him on alone. No one's going to come. It's going to be a one-on-one fight. And that particular episode is probably, in my opinion, and which is probably the reason it's the only episode I remember. It's a really great dogfight scene. It's basically them going at each other head to head, like firing their main weapons at each other, and both get a couple good hits here and there and stuff. But of course, in the end, the hero has to win, and he does get the finally killing blow with like a missile lock and killing it, and returns home as a hero. But he did it for revenge because he lost someone he clearly sees as a daughter I should have had, in a sense. But yeah, he's definitely under. So he's a cool character. Also, great fighter pilot. Knows tactics of the alien race, and also in a clever way of defeating, the alien ace and stuff like that. So he's a good start for this list. Definitely a good start. So next we got at number 4 from the Star Wars universe. And before you guys decided to put on the comics, it's like, oh, it should be Luke Skywalker or Anakin Skywalker or anyone with a Force ability. Forget the Force. No space wizardry here in this list, because we ain't going to have no space magic determine, this person's the best pilot in the universe. Forget that nonsense. No, this is all going to be based on skill and how talented you are, not how wizardry you are at flying a ship. Hapakosh. Anyways, at number 4, we're going to put in Wedge Antilles, in which, to the biggest nerds in Star Wars, including myself, Wedge Antilles is actually a big character in Star Wars. But in the movies and stuff, he is a side character and an unknown character up until you start reading like the expanded universe content, which is now Legends. But still, Wedge Antilles is like a really big hero within the rebellion, and basically he kind of has the same story with Han Solo. From Corellia, joined the Imperial TIE Fighter Academy or whatever it is. Later on, defected from the Empire after seeing what the Empire is to the Rebel Alliance, and basically becomes one of their best pilots in the Rebel Alliance. Probably the best non-Force user pilots, because he's definitely up there as a top dog. And he can fly not only X-Wing, which is his signature fighter, but he has done A-Wings, Snow Speeders, probably B-Wings. Pretty much anything that the Rebel Alliance had in their disposal as a fighter craft, he has flown and used throughout the Rebellion era up to the New Republic, and so on and so forth. Least and Legend, stuff like that. If you want to really know more about Wedge Antilles and how great his skill pilot, check out Star Wars the X-Wing series. It's a really great series. I think it's like 5 or 6 books long, but it shows like how much of a great pilot he is, and also he later on brings back Rogue Squadron, and then later on creates his own covert fighter squadron called Wraith Squadron. So Wedge is a solid number 4 on this list. And also, the reason why he's number 4 over McQueen, because most of Star Wars ships have shields. So he can still take a few hits if McQueen gets lucky, but, shields help out a lot. It really does a lot. Speaking of that, and also, moving on up to number 3, even though this pilot's universe is, because this one's going to be a bit weird, and I'm going to explain it as soon as I say it. They have no shields in this universe, but still a very creative pilot in either edition. So at number 3, we have Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica. And I'm going to include both Starbuck from the original Battlestar Galactica and the revamp, or the revised series of Battlestar Galactica, where they switched gender to make Starbuck a female, which, it's, whatever, but the revised Starbuck is actually a cool Starbuck. Very unique in her story and blah, 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 and stuff like that. But still, no, Starbuck was perhaps the best of the Colonial Vipers. And she and he, in both iterations, actually showed improvement by taking out multiple Cylon Raiders, and the Cylons are literally an AI robot. So if you can destroy AI robots multiple times, and also what's cool about the revised versions, the Cylon Raiders, when they die, their memory goes back into a new body. So they're constantly learning and improving, and yet Starbuck can still defeat them easily. So Starbuck is a very creative fighter pilot, like I said, and not the ways how she kills Cylons and dogfights and stuff like that, but a few times she saves Apollo, and other times where she has to make tactical decisions in order for her to save other Viper pilots and stuff like that. It's really cool. One of her standout episodes of her fighter skills was letting a younger Viper pilot, and this is from the Revive series, by the way, where they face a Cylon known as Scar, because basically Scar got tired of getting killed over and over again, and he just decided, you know what, this is it. I'm gonna be the best, and basically he's defeated quite a few Viper pilots, but Starbuck was the one that both said, like, hey, I'm gonna kill Scar. There was another one, I forgot her name. I think it was Kat. I think her name was. I'm not 100% sure. And they had like this little rivalry of who's gonna kill Scar until finally, when it finally happened, Starbuck, which she had her own little stuff going on in her mind, decided that, hey, I'm gonna let Kat take it and stuff like that. So, but still, Starbuck's a very good solid 3. And the reason like I said, she's above Wedge Antilles is, yeah, Wedge Antilles, most of his ships have shields in that universe. And, the Vipers don't, but the Vipers are very maneuverability. So I think Wedge would have a hard time hitting Starbuck before Starbuck managed to take his shield down and basically knock him out. So we'll see about that. So now we're on to number 2, who I think is better than Starbuck. So at number 2, from the anime series Robotech, we have Max Sterling. And this is from the first Robotech saga, the Macross series, I think, or saga, I think it's called. But yeah, so Max Sterling was a character that was later on introduced with another character, which I can't remember his name, to be basically part of the main character, which I think his name was Rick's new squadron. And it just shows up proof that Max Sterling is actually the best pilot of the Robotech fleet or fighter corps and stuff like that. And if you guys have never seen Robotech before, it's a really cool show. They have like these fighters that can transform into basically robots, humanoid robots. So it's kind of a cool show. And also I'm a big mech anime fan, so that was definitely one of my favorite shows. Anywho, off topic of that, we're talking about Max Sterling. So Max Sterling basically has a huge kill count. He has never been touched in battle against any of the, I think it's the Zentradi, until a female Zentradi Ace heard rumors like, oh, well, the humanoids have a pilot that, can definitely take you on. And she's like, impossible. And then when they finally fought, it's probably one of the most best animated, at that time, like, dogfights between, like, a good guy versus a bad guy kind of thing. And what's kind of cool, like, later on in the story, like, Max Sterling even made that fighter pilot, once they met in real life, to fall in love with him. And they both became basically squadron commanders or co-pilots or whatever and stuff. And they had a baby too. So the reason of that is why Max Sterling is above Starbuck is not because, he's the best fighter pilot, which he is, but the transferable from, fighter to humanoid robot, or battleoid, I think it was called. And, Starbuck, can probably hold out a little longer, but again, once the whole battleoid thing comes on, there's more strategy, more stuff you can do, and stuff like that. So, finally, we're at number 1, the one that is the top dog of them all, the ace of aces. At number 1, from the anime series Mobile Suit Gundam, the original one, and also later on ones, we have Char Aznable. Yes, good old Char Aznable, the main villain of the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and then also a recurring character in later iterations of it. Stuff like that. But yeah, so, like I said, the rule, it doesn't have to be a starfighter if you want to be the ace. We're talking about mobile suits, and Char Aznable is probably the best mobile suit pilot in Gundam series, probably in any of the franchises. Honestly, like, he has gone up against the original OG Gundam, the RX-78-2, multiple times, survive, and also later on, once he gets like better equipped mobile suits to go against this Gundam, even though he still kind of does lose, he does manage to take that Gundam down. But the only reason that he couldn't defeat the Gundam is because the Gundam is, well heavily armed. Its armor cannot be, breached by any of their weapons still even at that time. And also the Gundam was like a self-learning mobile suit, including with its pilot Amuro Ray, where he's just continually learning its skills. And also because of space magic, Amuro Ray is a new type, which again, it's kind of like space magic stuff. So again, screw you, space magic. But anyways, yeah, no, and we see Char Asimov later on. You know, he does become a new type also, kind of like a late bloomer. But we do see him like later on, especially like later on in Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta, where he goes under the alias Quattro Bernini, and it does show like his ability to continue to be toe to toe even with like new enemies that arrive with their new weaponry and mobile suits. Like he went in a dogfight where it's a 1v2 and it was him against like two other enemy combatants. And if you watch that, he's just beautifully like dodging, doing all this. Now, granted, it could be new type abilities, probably yes, but still, his skill and prowess as a mobile suit pilot is nearly unmatched to anyone, and he's almost literally unkillable because he finds a way to get out in certain situations. And then later on, we see in his final duel with Amuro Ray in Mobile Suit Gundam Char Counterattack. And their last and final duel in Mobile Suit is perhaps a great fight. Absolutely amazing. Beautiful. And stuff like that. But yeah, guys, so these are my top 5 aces of aces. The greatest fighter pilots or mobile suit pilots. Since a couple of them are kind of mechish, mobile suits-ish. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said before, hit that like button, subscribe, and get all notifications when you hit that bell. And also, if you want to, give this video a share. You know, let other people see how, or hear, actually, you're not really seeing, but hearing my beautiful voice, or terrible voice, because I think my voice is kind of scratchy. But yeah, hey, so I love you guys. I hope you're all doing great, fantastic, and until next time, see you later.